Ball Guy is the friendly mascot of the Galar Pokemon League that can be found in and around almost every gym in Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you, the player, take the time to talk to this friend-shaped character, he will give you a rare Pokeball somewhat related to the current gym. And in the post-game, Ball Guy will run up to you and award you with a ball-like item from this list every time you clear the Champion Cup or Galar Star Tournament. Overall, he's just a nice guy who really likes balls. However, there is a lot more to the Ball Guy than meets the eye. For starters, this isn't the real Ball Guy. He's supposed to be 2D, a cute little mascot used for some fun visuals during the gym battles and the Champion Cup matches. Meanwhile, the character we see around the gyms is just some random guy dressed as the mascot. But he is not an official league-sanctioned employee. If anything, he's using the likeness of the actual Ball Guy as a ploy to give out Pokeballs to challengers and crowd alike. Which got me wondering, if he isn't officially hired by the league, why is he even allowed at the gyms in the first place? I'm pretty sure that if you rock up to Disney World dressed in a Mickey Mouse mascot costume, you will be escorted off the premises. Doesn't matter if you were being nice and taking pictures with unsuspecting happy children. That would not fly in real life, so why does he get a pass? Well, it's very much possible that he's not just some deranged NEET trying to spread smiles and his love for Pokeballs to all the gym goers in Galar, but is instead a trainer participating in the gym challenge. It might sound a bit ridiculous, but hear me out. If we were to follow the logic from that one video I made a few years ago, the fact that he shows up at every gym could mean that he is just another fellow gym challenger. And since we do see him in Winden, it's possible that he is the challenger who makes it all the way to the semifinals. Think about it, all 4 trainers are present in this room. Hop, Marnie, me, and Ball Guy. He could be the 4th trainer. But wait a minute, is he actually a trainer? Well, if we're to look purely inside the confines of Pokemon Sword and Shield, then no. Ball Guy has no known Pokemon or official battle. However, Ball Guy does show up in the hit mobile not a sponsor gacha game, Pokemon Masters EX, where we do see him using an Amoonguss, as well as a bunch of Voltorb and Electrode. So yes, he is a trainer, and he has at least one Pokemon that is legal in the Galar region. But that fact alone makes this man a million times more interesting, because this mushroom line is not available in the mainland of Galar, despite there being a perfectly fine fungi mushroom forest in the region. However, it makes its appearance in the Forest of Focus for the Isle of Armor DLC. Now, why does that matter? Well, if this is his starter/ace Pokemon, that means there's only 2 options for Ball Guy's backstory. He could either be a native of the Isle of Armor, potentially the person who sold it to Mustard, and then used all the money to buy every single Pokeball he could, or he could be another trainer who has graduated from the Master Dojo. You know, the place ran by a former champion, his wife who is on par with champions, and helped train the current champion of Galar. In fact, Ball Guy could be the trainer representing the dojo for this year's gym challenge. And that fact alone could very well put Ball Guy on the same power level as Leon, the current champion. And as weird as this theory sounds, there's actually even more hints in the game to support it. Hear me out. Once you do become champion, you can go back to Motostoke and talk to the Ball Guy to get this character's league card. Unlike every other major trainer in the game, Ball Guy only has a normal league card, however, it is anything but normal. That's because the little frame in the lower half looks an awfully lot like the frame we see for previous and existing champions, except it's not quite the same color. However, there is one other trainer whose rare league card uses the exact same frame, Hop, and we only see this frame on his rare league card, which is made after taking on the gym challenge and helping us stop the Darkest Day, getting himself recognition from the league as a top tier trainer. Hop's even using the exact same background and pose as his brother Leon, but has a different frame, likely due to the fact that Leon has access to the champion frame, but Hop does not, so he uses the next best option. We can also see this from the other rivals who switch from their generic frame to the one that represents the gym they're currently leading. So this could imply that the Ball Guy is actually at the very least on par with Hop, strong enough to tame a legendary Pokemon, but not quite lucky enough to become the next champion. Now this could be because he loses to Hop during the semifinals, or maybe he just isn't all that strong. I don't know, I guess I'll have to do a Ball Guy run to figure it out. However, it opens up the potential to Ball Guy being an extremely powerful trainer. So whether he's another challenger allowed near the gyms due to his status, or just too strong to kick out, Ball Guy is able to stand in his post, spreading joy and balls to all who are willing to approach. But that also begs the question, how does he have so many balls? Assuming he doesn't just give us a special ball, surely he must have a large stockpile of these rare balls to give away. And it's not just the apricorn balls that Kurt makes in the Johto region. He's also got the Dream Ball, Beast Ball, and almost every other common ball variant. However, he either doesn't have every ball in the game, or at the very least doesn't give these away. The Premier Ball, Safari Ball, Sport Ball, and of course, the Master Ball. Given that he does have a Pokemon from the Isle of Armor, it is very likely that the Ball Guy used the native apricorns there to make the majority of balls he's giving away. But considering that the Beast Ball is only available through the Aether Foundation, it makes me wonder if Ball Guy is somehow connected and able to source them consistently enough to give away as a random reward. Or maybe he somehow found Faba's research notes and managed to recreate this ball from scratch. Same with the Dream Ball, which has such a weird backstory that I don't even know how to make sense of it. But he has a ton of them and just gives them away. And if the Ball Guy does make most of his balls, it is also possible that he knows how to make the Master Ball but then just chooses not to give it out since he knows that it'll make every other ball seem useless in the eyes of the public. Or maybe he just respects the tradition of only giving this ball to champion ranked trainers. Who knows, maybe he's the one who makes and distributes the Master Ball to the Pokemon leagues across the globe. But wasn't this thing invented in the Kanto region? Is he also somehow connected to Silphco? Could he be that one random juggler that shows up during the Team Rocket takeover? Congratulations, you've won a Blaine Doll. Wait, gamers, I just realized something. He's doing the Ball Guy pose. Is Blaine the Ball Guy? Look at, you see the Ball Guy pose? Now look at the Blaine Doll pose. It's the same pose. You see what I mean, gamers? This Ball Guy just doesn't make any sense. On the outside, he appears to be a happy-go-lucky lover of balls, but if you take a peek inside that giant ball head of his, you'll quickly realize just how insanely strong and connected this guy must really be. And the mysteries only go deeper, like, why doesn't he show up at the Spikemouth gym? Why is he in the only one Pokemon Switch game that doesn't have Voltorb in it? If he isn't an official league-sanctioned character, why does he show up on the promotional screen at Winden Stadium? That is not the official 2D Ball Guy art, it is a photo of this guy. Maybe I'm just overthinking this one character in a silly rushed out Pokemon game. Maybe he's intentionally made to be a complete and utter mystery. Or maybe, just maybe, Ball Guy has a much larger role to play in the world of Pokemon. A role which we're simply blind to. The glitterati, the occult, Interpol, who knows? All I know is that this guy is a lot more than meets the eye. Please let me know what you think about the Ball Guy, or if you have any theories about him in the comments down below. I hope you enjoyed this character breakdown, and look forward to the Ball Guy run, which should be coming soon. Either way, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and here, have a Pokeball, friend!